afternoon, viewers at home. You are on to Igbenedion University Campus Radio, also known as Wonderland FM 90.5. My name remains Reverend Father Segun Aladiji, your friend and your brother. Last week, we started this program titled No Conflict, No Life. And last week, we were talking about the stages of conflicts. The conflicts of a toddler being different from the conflicts of a youth. The conflict of a youth being different from the conflict of an old man. The conflict of an old man being different from the conflict of an old woman. Every individual has his own conflict. And today, we shall be going to the root of conflicts. What actually is the root of conflicts? How is conflict being originated? How is conflict being originated? In the first place, conflict can be traced to the beginning of man, the existence of man. And in the beginning that man exists, conflict begins with man. And to date it continues. However, in the individual, how does the conflict originate? There are many factors which may be attributed to the roots of conflicts. 4 of it will be highlighted in this program. There are many. 1, desire. 2, greed. 3rd one, inferiority complex. And the 4th one, superiority complex. The desire of a person locks him or her in the bondage of conflicts. What you desire many a times disturbs you. What you desire many a times troubles your mind. What you desire many a times keeps you uncomfortable. Many a times what you desire becomes a burden on you. I'm going to the second one, greed. The desire of the desire for selfish interest destroys the individual and the society. When one is selfish, everything is personal gain. It's I alone. I don't care about others. That greed, the moment it's inherited in man, it brings about conflict to both the person who is greedy and the society at large. And the 3rd one, inferiority complex. Looking down on oneself, it's a conflict of its own. When you look down on yourself, when you see yourself as not being worthy, worthless being, you see yourself as not being able to do things that others are doing, this is another conflict on its own. We're talking about the 4th one, superiority complex. You feel you are better than others. You feel nobody can equate you. Nobody can be equal with you. And that is pride. So these 4 are the major roots of conflict in the individual. Desire, greed, inferiority complex, or superiority complex. It becomes worse if one should have 3 of this. Desire. If your desires are not being controlled, if your desire controls you, you surely fall into series of conflicts. If you are the greedy type, your conflict will be enormous. And most people that are greedy are those that exhibit jealousy, envy, and they are the people that goes about to malign, blackmail, gossip, just to destroy others because of their personal gain. Once they see other persons trying to shine, they become uncomfortable. They feel, oh, it should be me. I should be the one to shine, not them. So whoever has this great conflict in him or her, it's a problem. These are the set of people who causes greater conflict in the society. If you observe very well, most of the conflicts we have in our society today are being caused by the greedy individuals. If individuals could forgo greed, the society will be at peace. So, if we're talking about trying to resolve a conflict, let the individual work on him or herself and try to tame his or her greed. The society will be better off. Then, the third one, whoever has greed will desire inordinate things. And if someone is greedy and, of course, desiring everything, both needed and not what is not needed, and you now combine with inferiority complex first, you now combine with inferiority complex, the problem will be too much, the conflict will be too much. First, you look down on yourself, and when you look down on yourself, you begin to agitate for what is not. And looking down on yourself, you feel what ought to be yours belongs to others. You feel petty. You feel people should recognize you. You look for self-pity. You'll be looking for self-pity. And then at the end of the day, the conflict will weigh you down. And people with inferiority complex mostly are those that fall back to depression mostly, because they could not express themselves, and if their nature is a type of greedy type, they are greedy by nature, and they have inferiority complex, they could not express themselves, their desires are not being met, they become aggressive, and if they could not get all of this which they desire, they fall into depression. And the fourth one is either you have inferiority complex or superiority complex. And if you have this superiority complex in you, and you are greedy, and your desires are enormous, with your superiority complex being combined together, the conflicts will be more than what you can cope with, because you'll be swallowed with pride. A proud person who is greedy will desire what is not even needed. So, these 4 points I've listed out, they are majorly the roots of conflict in the individual. So, it is better one have just one of them, desire, because naturally we are always desiring one thing or the other. No matter our status in life, no matter who we are, we always desire one thing or the other. If it's the conflict of desire alone that you have, then thank God you could easily control yourself. You may not fall into depression. And if you desire something, you could not get it, how do you go about it? Don't allow your conflict to swallow you, but rather put your conflict under you. And if you now combine desire with greed, you are very greedy by nature. You become very aggressive. You be living with jealousy, whining and dining with envy. Then you become what I cannot even describe. You become what I cannot describe. So, if also you now combine with inferiority complex, difficulties and upon difficulties. Now let us now move on. I want to let us know that the medicine of brain is positive thinking, while negative thinking damages the brain. You see, many a times we go to the hospital, we make complaint to the doctor. Doctor, I'm having persistent headache. Persistent headache. Doctors will counsel you. Doctors will give you some drugs. Yet you go and come back, still continue to say the same thing, complain the same thing. Doctor, I'm having headache. I'm having headache. I'm having headache. Doctor, please, what can I do? And doctor will give you medicine. You will still continue with this headache. And you ask yourself, what is the cause of this headache? And of course, some that want to make money out of you we tell you have family problem. We tell your brother in the village is behind you. They will tell you lots of things, witches and wizards are disturbing you. But no, you are the one who put yourself into that bondage because you have used negative thoughts to damage your brain. Negative thoughts damages the brain. But if you are with positive thoughts, positive thinking by nature, I tell you most solemnly, your brain will be refreshed. You will not fall sick. Sickness may be a bit far from you. And when one is living with persistent headache, one should be careful because from persistent headache, it graduates to migraine. And of course, when it's migraine, you know what it means. It will affect your mental health. Your mental health has started deteriorating. And what does it mean? High blood pressure. Now, before we go into that, I'll surely come back to that later. I want to let us know again. There are 3 stages of conflict in the life of humanity. In the life of humanity, there are 3 stages of conflict. The conflict of the past, the conflict of the present, and the conflict of the future. The conflict of the past, the conflict of the present, and the conflict of the future. These 3 conflicts, a man need to be put under control. The one that disturbs more is that of the conflict of the past. Many of us will hold on to past mistakes. Many of us will hold on to our mistakes of the past. We never let go. You will see somebody who made a mistake in the past, will be ruminating over the mistake continuously. Many times, people of such will always seek privacy. They all want to be alone. And woe betide the person if the person happens to be an introvert. And it happens more to the introverts anyway, whereby they always seek to be alone. When they are alone, what are they doing? They are just reflecting, ruminating over the past. For example, a young lady being raped and become pregnant in the process of the raping, and one way or the other giving birth to the child, now abort the child. She may live never to forgive herself. And if she keep dwelling on that pain of the rape, pain of the pregnancy, pain of the abortion, she was raped, she became pregnant, and she aborted. And if she keep living with it, she will never make progress. If, for example, she goes to bed at night, and the moment she lies down on her bed, and I trust Master Devil, the devil will bring the picture back to the memory, fresh, as if it's happening live. She lies down on the bed, she recalls how she was raped, tears dropping from her eyes. As she recalls it, she keeps crying, saying, God, why? God, why? As she keeps crying, she continues. After the rape, I discovered I was pregnant. After the pregnancy, she now moved on to the stage at which she had to go and abort the pregnancy. All this pain she's going over and over again will be there. And when she continues with these pains, this past that has gone, maybe it happened about 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years back, 20 years back, she never let go. And she's on the bed, she will not sleep. And she did not sleep, headache, fatigue. And when her head keep pounding, what comes up next? Migraine. One side of the head will be aching, the other side will not ache. The other side will ache, the other side will not ache. And if she could not control it, this may lead to high blood pressure. Because the pressure of the blood that's supposed to be normal will become abnormal. And if it become abnormal, what now be the gain? And these are the things that leads to stroke. So, my dear viewers at home, my dear listeners at home, pardon me, I want to let us know that the conflict of the past, you need to let it go. It takes the grace of God to let it go. But then I pray to God to give you and me and every other person the grace to let go the past. I'll stop here today while we entertain some calls and see if one or two persons have questions or the other. Next week, I will dwell more on the conflict of the past, how we can come out of it, because majority today are undergoing the conflict of the past. And let me let you know that more reason many have never made progress in life. Conflict of the past make you stagnant. You remain stagnant. The time you will have spent to think about the future, the time you will have spent to think about progress in life, you spend it thinking about the past that has gone. And what have you gained? And I'll stop here. Since you have been thinking about your past, what has been your positive gain? The only gain you have gotten is headache, migraine, high blood pressure, heartburn. Some even develop ulcer. So what have you gained? If you cannot let go the conflict of the past, your mental health is deteriorating. Many who have stroke today, if they will be sincere with you, it is negative thinking that affected them, that made them to have this partial stroke or full stroke that they have today. So my dear listeners at home, I thank you for paying attention, listening to me. I'll stop there whereby we entertain some calls, after which we continue from where we stop. So feel free to call in. The number to call in is 070 81 29 63 35. I call it again, 070 81 29 63 35 or 00 79 96 15 96. I take it again, 00 07 00 79 96 15 96. So feel free to call in to ask your questions, and perhaps if you have any contribution on this program, you are welcome. Thank you very much. Sorry, we have a network problem here. So you can call on this number. It's 081 27 84 8507. It's 081 27 84 8507. Feel free to call in. We have just 10 minutes to go. Feel free to call in and ask your question. Make your contribution. And you can even share with us how you overcome your past conflict. Thank you very much. So while we wait for calls to come in, we just look more into it and say, if you are living with the past, you remain stagnant. If you want to make progress, I beg of you to let the past be behind you. Know that when someone is driving a car, as he or she is driving the car, he or she will never look back. Because if you look back or look sideways, you will have accidents. So remain focused. Look at the future. The future will help a lot. The future is bright. Tell yourself, I'm going to make it. Tell yourself, my life is not of the past, but of the present. The number again I call is 081 27 84 8507. Feel free to call in. You can call in to make your contribution, or you can ask your questions. So like I was saying, and the other one is the conflict of the present. The conflict of the present and the conflict of the future. The conflict of the present is the present one we are undergoing now. If we can try to overcome the conflict of the past, it will help us a lot to face the conflict of the present. But when you don't overcome the conflict of the past, it will surely have effect on the conflict of the present. While the conflicts of the future is mostly the fear of the unknown. We shall be talking about fear, the adverse effect of fear, how fear can destroy our personality, how fear can make us to remain stagnant. There are many things that we shall be discussing on this program, but for today we shall be stopping at the conflict of the past. So feel free to call in. The number again is 081 27 84 8507.